This is the Retirement Key Podcast with Abe Abish, founder of Abish Financial Services.
A lot of firms out there say they will do tax planning, say they will do Social Security planning and RMD planning, and typically they just do investment management. They want your money.
You've worked hard your whole life to earn and save. Now you need a plan to make that money work hard for you.
Where do you stand today with your retirement accounts, with your insurance, with Social Security, RMDs, taxes, all of it? This is how we need to think. We need to think outside of the box on these matters.
Abe is here to help you unlock the keys to your retirement.
How are we feeling in the most wonderful time of the year, or the most frenzied time of the year? I should say that's what it feels like.
Now's the time where we start thinking about ordering presents and gifts.
Now?
Yeah,
now
down
is
to
the
the wire. Down to the wire. Yep.
You might be a little bit behind the time, if I do say so myself, my friend.
I'm a gift-giving procrastinator. That's the way I like it.
Same.
And down to the wire and getting it just in the nick of time kind of makes me feel like I'm in the Christmas spirit. And so that's what's happening again in 2022. How about you, Heather?
At least you're optimistic about it. No, I'm totally down to the wire myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am a professional procrastinator. A long time procrastinator, first time caller is what we say here.
Right. Right.
It's definitely something that I have battled my whole life, and every year I say to myself, this is the last time I'm going to do it, and yet here I am again. 43 years into this life on this planet.
Kind of just makes it fun, makes it interesting. And
interesting. That's the word is what it makes.
Right. Right.
You have a good excuse, though. You've got a good bailout in any kind of conversation that your friends or family might say to you as far as any kind of disappointment on gifts, because the chaos that is the financial world, you can say, listen, guys, I'm busy. There is a lot going on at work right now.
Yeah. Markets are a little volatile, to say the least.
A little bit, to say the least. And it's not like the others are taking holiday. Our friends over in Washington, D.C., I mean, the Fed is hard at work. We heard from Jerome Powell this week. Interest rates being hiked again. Here we are watching the fallout, the after effects that we have seen with the market. And with the Fed's interest rate hikes, of course, ultimately want to see it tame the inflation rates because of the prices that we are all dealing with as we do all of our holiday shopping, Abe. Randall Kresner is a former member of the Federal Reserve Board of Governors. He was recently telling Fox Business that it's clearly too early to tell if all of these rate hikes are going to do what we need them to do. Here's what he was saying.
Usually it's sort of 6 to 18 months is when the main impact comes. The Fed really only started tightening in March, so we're probably going to see the impact on the labor market. I do think the unemployment rate is going to start to go up. The challenge is that the Fed needed to move quickly to make sure they didn't allow inflation expectations to get out of control. But by moving so quickly, they haven't had time to see, well, what is really going to be the consequence for the economy? Have they gone too far?
Abe, even the experts seem unsure about what's going to happen. Do you agree with what he was saying? Have they gone too far, or is it a time will tell situation?
I agree with what he's saying there, Heather, that really no one knows what's going to happen, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And if we had a crystal ball, we'd all be in Fiji together.
Yeah.
I think we believe as a firm that we're probably going to see the bottom into 2023. And if we're not in a recession already, that we're likely going into a recession. I mean, if you look at what the markets are doing just this week, just a few days ago, I mean, losing almost 3% in one day.
Yeah.
I feel like the markets will go up. No, they go up, and they typically go up usually slowly and gradually, but man, when the markets go down, they can go down quick.
Mm-hmm.
They can turn around quick. And in one day, we can be down 2, 3, 4%. And that's real money when we're talking about our life savings. Yeah. So, I think we need to be prepared. And if we weren't in a recession in 2022, then I think we really need to be prepared going into 2023. And when Jeff Bezos, the CEO of the corporate world, gets on national television and he starts telling Americans, if you're thinking about making investments, if you're thinking about purchasing a car, if you're thinking about doing things, you may just want to pause a little bit. I think he may know a little bit more than us. What do you think?
Yeah, no, it's true, yeah.
And he basically said in that interview, you may want to keep some powder dry as we head into 2023. Man, that is what we've been saying all year. And so, look, maybe we already hit the bottom, right? Maybe the markets are totally turning around, but right now it doesn't feel like that. And most Americans don't feel that is what is happening. And we believe that we'll probably hit a bottom next year and then ultimately turn around. And we need to be prepared, right, to capture as much of that upside as we can when the markets do turn around. Yeah. And also to stop the bleeding, to limit the losses, to avoid large loss on the downside if we hit new lows. We cannot go from negative 15, negative 20 to negative 25, 35, or 40. Right. It takes an average American typically 3 to 5 years to climb out of that hole, as we saw back in 2008 in the tech bubble. Mm-hmm. So we just recently had a couple call in and then come into the office because they are concerned with everything going on. They're about 6 to 7 years away. They live in Loudoun County. They've saved $750,000. They're in their early to mid 60s, and they've got their stuff everywhere. So they both wanted to do some consolidation. Okay. You know, they've got their stuff at 3 or 4 firms. They're getting 3 or 4 opinions. They don't really have a good grasp on everything that they have. So having everything under one roof can be of a lot of benefit there just by consolidation. Accounts are everywhere, taking on way too much risk, as is the norm. Mm-hmm. They have no plan, and they have essentially 401ks, 403bs, IRAs, Roth IRAs, and some brokerage accounts, cash in the bank, real estate, the classic mix of stuff that someone in the DC metro area has as they're approaching retirement. So we've just focused the last 20 to 30 years on all this accumulation, and now people are getting closer and closer and realizing, well, wait a minute, what is this going to look like for me as I transition into retirement? Do I have enough? Because I'm down to the wire here. I'm down to a year, a few months. 5, 6 years is not a lot of time. And every year that goes by is crucial to make sure we are saving as much as we can, to make sure we are reducing risk as much as possible, avoiding large losses, getting our financial house in order so that by the time we retire, we can punch out, we can cross the finish line successfully. These were all their concerns. Their stuff was everywhere. They had no plan. So we ran projections and a roadmap, and we actually figured out that they needed to save another $700,000 before fully retiring. Okay. The good news is they have time. Yeah. But man, they got to take advantage of maxing out company plans and matching contributions at their companies and so forth to really get to the point where they can retire comfortably. So if you're listening right now and you sound a little bit like this couple or anyone we speak of on the show that lives in the DC metro area and you're approaching retirement, you're in retirement, you don't have a plan. You don't have a roadmap for this next phase and season of your life. That's phase 2 as you're generating income and distributions for your life. We want to offer you that same retirement roadmap that we offered this couple. So if you're 55 and older and if you've saved $500,000 or more for your retirement, go to retirementkeyradio.com, click on the Contact Us tab at the top of the page, and we can begin to have these same conversations with you as well.
Abe, everything you were just talking about, the idea of saving and reducing our risk and creating a plan, what it really all boils down to is that one thing that we need in our retirement years. We need that income. We need it to be coming in consistently like the paychecks we used to get in our working years. And unfortunately, we can't all be Jennifer Aniston. This whole notion of mailbox money is quite a Hollywood luxury. A successful TV show not only can lead to a big paycheck up front, but also set up long-term paydays for the show's stars and producers. I was just saying, Jennifer Aniston, I didn't realize Warner Brothers still earns $1 billion a year from the TV show Friends.
Wow.
Still this year. And then to boot, each of the 6 stars, they get 2% of that. So basically, they're each getting $20 million every single year.
Wow.
Just for waking up and getting out of bed and going to check the mail. This is what we call mailbox money, a term that we would all love to be able to create ourselves. Unfortunately, we're not Matt LeBlanc and Jennifer Aniston. So the question for you is for the rest of us, for us non-TV stars, is there a way to mimic this sort of mailbox money for ourselves in our retirement years?
Absolutely, Heather. Look, the world is so uncertain right now, and it will always be. So there are so many things in the world that are uncertain, but your financial future, your retirement, your income in retirement does not have to be uncertain. It should not be uncertain. You need that foundation. You need a strong foundation of retirement income in retirement that you can rely on. So imagine, as you're transitioning into retirement, if you could have that clockwork mailbox type of income in retirement that you had when you were working every 2 weeks, unless you were unemployed all the time. If you were employed pretty steadily, you saw that clockwork mailbox type of income in your bank account every 2 weeks. That allowed you to get to retirement. That allowed you to save, to max out your 401ks, to pay the bills, to live comfortably, to stand up tall and walk confidently into life, right?
Yeah.
Because we've got steady income. So that's exactly what we need and deserve, that dignity and confidence in retirement. And we can, of course, create that. We just need the education. We need to know how. So we recently had a gentleman call in for this specific reason.
Okay.
Abe and the team, I've got $2 million. This gentleman is in Frederick, Maryland. He and his wife live there. They're in their late 50s. They're retiring in 7 years out of Frederick, Maryland. They're middle road investors, 6 on our risk scale, and they've got $2 million with 7 years in front of them.
Wow.
And here's this couple, this is why they have $2 million, because they're so proactive. They're seeking advice 7 years before they transition into retirement. Good for them. And his biggest concern is, how the heck do I take this big bucket of money? We're projecting he gets to $3.5 million by the time he retires, into income that I and my wife can enjoy, and that when I pass, because I'll probably pass first, that my wife can be taken care of if I pass away first, right? That she can be taken care of and have that same type of mailbox income coming into her that we can enjoy and that she can enjoy when I go. That's dependable, that's reliable, so we don't have to worry about the markets and our income into retirement. Abe and the team, can you help us with something like that? Let me tell you, Heather, and anyone listening right now, that is our specialty as a retirement planning firm, is helping someone transition from their working career into retirement and taking all of this hard work, right? Taking your life savings and turning it into an income generating distribution plan. So you can live on it, so you can enjoy it without the fear of running out. You need that strong foundation. You need that clockwork mailbox type of reliable income. You can create it. You can create that pension-like income for yourself. You just need to have your own plan. And so some people have pensions, some people don't. You can create your own pension. Most people are going to have Social Security. You need that strong foundation you can rely on, so that you're not worrying about the markets and you can do everything you want to do in retirement.
Thanks for listening to the Retirement Key Podcast with Abe Abish. To learn more about Abish Financial Services, visit retirementkeyradio.com. And join Abe for his radio show, The Retirement Key, Saturdays at 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. and Sundays at 2 p.m. on WMAL.
Investment advisory services offered through Abish Financial Wealth Management, LLC, number 310633, a registered investment advisor firm. Financial professionals are not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if Abraham Abish is licensed in your state, please call 571-577-9968. Abish Financial Services is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal or tax advice. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Abraham Abish Inc., Virginia license number 131017.